I unmute myself, which I normally forget to do. Fantastic. Well, welcome everyone to another Puzzle Rush, first one for February, number 13. Thanks all for joining us. We've got a few new people. We've got quite an international lineup today. We've got people from people from Finland, Denmark, Norway, Germany, France, stroke Canada. Yeah, so and we've got a strong lineup today. We've got Tobias, who's won 3 in a row. We've got Ida, who won 3 in a row last year. So it's going to be a good strong competition tonight. So thanks all for joining us. We've got some new people as well. So fantastic that you're here. Yeah, so just if you are new here, I'll repeat this in Swedish, but yeah, thanks for joining us. When you finish, so we'll all open the boxes together in a few minutes. When you're finished, all you need to do is give a thumbs up to the camera, and your time will be recorded. Hopefully, the new timing system will be in place. Will be in place for the next competition. So you won't need to do the thumbs up anymore, but more news on that later. Så om ni behöver den på svenska om det är första gången. Vi ska öppna lådorna i några minuter och sen när ni är klara bara ge en tumme upp till kameran och sen stänga tiden. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, welcome everyone on YouTube stream as well. You can see we've got people watching there. Upcoming events. So there's a few places left. So the next competition is the double puzzle event in a couple of weeks. So there'll be more information coming out on that shortly for you to say if you're doing it solo or as a pair. There's about 5 places left for that if you're not already entered. And then the one after that is just before the Swedish Nationals. Only 2 places I think left for that, so jump in quickly if you haven't already. And then the next round of dates will be out in the next couple of weeks as well, or will be announced and then on sale end of February, start of March. Okay, let's quickly do our traditional Wheel of Fortune. So bonus puzzle for somebody. Let's spin the wheel.
Drum rolls.
Who's it going to be? Ooh. Freya, congratulations. I shall be in touch shortly about that. Oh. Tobias is joining again. Must have dropped out. Okay, yeah, so welcome to everyone who joined recently, and yeah, special welcome to Amelia, who's going to be joining us, talking about the upcoming competition season and about setting goals. Let's just
Thank you for asking me to join. Happy to be here as usual.
Fantastic, thank you. Let's just check. There's one camera, BB. I can't see your camera at the moment. If you just want to check that's on. Oh, having issues. Okay, we'll give her a minute or so. Yeah, a couple of minutes before we start. BB joining us for the first time from Denmark. She was with us for the last one, the joint competition with Puzzle Race, first Puzzle Rush competition. Yeah, let's just see if she can work that out. Looks like we've got the Linköping gang together again. Always good, cool to see people puzzling together.
And if the people watching on YouTube, I have the chat open there. So if you want to send some messages, cheer for your friends, or have questions or opinions or ideas or anything, just let us know. I keep an eye on that one.
Great. Yeah, now we can see BB as well. Fantastic. Okay, so I think it is time to open the box and see what we have for tonight. So yeah, you can take off the plastic and check the box open is okay. There is a poster that comes with this one. I would say it's worth using if you can. It shows the edges of the picture slightly better than the box does. Yeah, so you can take the poster out if you want, and then pop the lid of the box back on. Let's just have a look around. I think everyone's nearly ready. Okay, fantastic. So good luck, everyone. Hope you enjoy it. And we'll do a countdown starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go, 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 go. You have a close shot of that puzzle, right? I can see it's Clement.
I do. I'll hold up for you. I'll bring up the picture for the live stream. So, a couple of things that are close to my heart. So, this is Westminster Bridge in London. So, obviously, yeah, thought we'd have a puzzle with a bit of a British theme tonight. Westminster Bridge in London. And Clementoni has a bit of a special place in my heart when I kind of rediscovered puzzling a couple of years ago. The local library had a big stack of Clementoni puzzles, and so it was yeah, I spent the first few months doing lots and lots of Clementoni puzzles, and yeah, really enjoyed them. So I thought it'd be fun to have one from that brand tonight. Yeah. I thought I might get a little comment from Graham there. They had it. They used it in the Puzzle Guzzle. I think sometime last year. I did notice that. No one tonight. I think was on that competition. But yeah, it was a good choice. I know Graham makes good choices for the puzzles over there. So yeah, I thought it was okay to use the same one. Um,
The end. I'm just curious. You said that this is close to your heart, obviously. I know why, but those red buses that you have in, for example, London, are they actually something? Have you ever been one, or is it just for tourists?
oh no, they're I guess the old style one. So this is a slightly nostalgic picture. So it's a bit oldie worldy. So they don't look quite like that anymore. But certainly, yeah, red double decker buses when I lived in London. It was yeah, took them everywhere.
Okay, cool. I always had this tourist thing in my mind that it's only for tourists, but that's maybe because I feel like in some other bigger countries, here, including Helsinki, we have those buses, but they are only for tourists if they have two levels.
Okay, no, it was yeah, big part of big part of living and travelling in London. It's not a puzzle you've done before, Amelia?
No, I have not done this one. I also loved Clementone, and I think in addition to Trefoil, Clementone was one of the brands that I had the most before I found out about speed busing. So
Mm.
before I went into the Ravensburg frenzy. So
Yeah.
yeah, I still have a lot of Clementones. And I also do have to always say I really like their new packaging. I know it has been already over a year, but I feel like they were one of the first brands that did reduce the size of the box.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was a big reduction on their part because the
Yeah.
old ones were absolutely huge. Oh, okay. Yeah, Graham's saying when we used it, a few people had missing or extra pieces, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not going to see that tonight. Okay, let's bring up the first few people. Turn on that one. Got two cameras. There we go. Okay, yeah, so here we have Angelica with us for lots of the competitions. Great to see you back. Just starting to do that flip. Got Annika back for the first time in a little while, so fantastic to have you back. And BB from Denmark, yeah, first time with us. She was with us for the combined competition last time, but has now joined some of the Puzzle Rush competitions as well. So yeah, thanks very much. Fantastic to have you with us. So
I
yeah,
love it
quite.
how I can already see the red pieces. If you look Bibi's screen, you can just see the red ones kind of like pop out from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they really do. I mean, I think there's three buses on there, but they're kind of you've got a big one, a medium one, and a small one, so you can separate them fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of this traditional where you've got sky at the top, some buildings and buses and other things at the top, and then some kind of water at the bottom. What would your strategy generally be? Where would you be drawn to start with a kind of with that kind of a puzzle and that kind of makeup?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering. I feel like the red is something that draws a lot of attention, so almost like a little bit hard to ignore. I'm not exactly sure. I'm really bad at estimating how many pieces something is. And because it's in the middle, so it's not like the usual choice. I usually prefer something that it's closer to the edges, or have a little bit of structure around it. But yeah, that's a hard one. I'm actually very interested to see if there's a lot of different orders of assembling this puzzle today.
Yeah, I think I went for the sky first. That seems to be a theme at the moment. I kind of tend to get drawn to sky areas to begin with.
Yeah,
Uh, it's it's not the
I just took
easiest.
a
It's not the
picture
easiest
out.
sky. It's not a kind of very clear gradient, but yeah.
Yeah, with the sky, I feel like the other corner is a little bit darker blue, so I may not do the full sky, but maybe just do a little bit of that. It's on the corner where's the Big Ben, I think that's what you call it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then there is the street lamp kind of thing. And then also there's this very little yellow part on close to the like at the bottom edge where is the water. It's just very small thing, but probably that's something that stands out as well.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention that. I can see Angelica's working on that, and those pieces they're even more yellow than they look on the screen there. They those ones really do stand out.
Yeah, so those are probably the things I would start with. But yeah, also the red pieces. That might be a mistake or it might be a good choice. It's hard to say because I haven't done this puzzle, so sometimes there are some parts of a puzzle. It's really hard to estimate if you actually haven't done the puzzle.
Absolutely, and I think it's yeah, it's so often that I kind of see the box and see the picture and think, okay, yeah, I'm obviously going to start with this part, and then once the pieces are out, it's something else completely that kind of really stands out and that kind of draws you to start with it. Okay, on
Yeah.
screen now we have Cameron, one of the team members. Hi, Cameron. Yeah, so you can see that top edge,
We have
that
another
sky
one.
edge in
Another
place. Oh, in fact, yeah, it's the whole team for Denmark and Sweden. Fantastic, yeah, to Cameron and Amelia. Yeah, Amelia also with that kind of with that top edge in place, that sky edge. I think yeah, because it's Clementoni, because of the fit. I think some brands, you may not start with the edge if it depending on the fit, depending on whether you may be expecting kind of false fits in the sky, it may not be too easy. But I think this one goes together fairly well. Had a message in the chat from Jody Parky Puzzles. Fun fact about this puzzle: there are always more buses than you think. Yeah, so I think we had that conversation about
We're just about to say the same.
yeah, when you made like covered the picture and asked me how many ducks there were and how many people there were, and yeah, there's always more than you think. Oh, and someone saying first time watching Puzzle Rush. Hi, fantastic. Thanks for joining us. Not my fault. Okay, it took me 53:13. That's a pretty good time. I think that's similar to mine. 50, I think 53 something I got for this one. Okay, yeah. So on screen we had Camera. We've got Camilla. So yeah, it looks like she's sorting out some of those sky pieces. It looks like she's done an initial sort. I'm guessing that's the kind of water, that dark, possibly the bridge, that
Yeah.
dark area that's sorted out there. And then
I see.
Amelia, yeah,
Yeah, has the red
looks like she's
pieces.
taking your advice. She's got those red pieces out.
And I'm looking at because I think she tried to already put some pieces of it, and now I can see that she's collecting the yellow we also mentioned. So
Mm.
did she already see that might be a bit too hard? Well, not too hard, but something that she wants to take the speed from somewhere else first and then go back to it. So this is very, very interesting to me because now you can actually see it's a lot of pieces. It's a lot
Yeah,
of pieces. So if you're not able to put that together, you see how much when the pieces are scattered like that, it takes a lot of space. So interesting.
mm.
Very interested in those red buses now.
And yeah, with the buses and with the bridge and even the building, there's a lot of perspective. So the bridge, you've got kind of repeating patterns, but you can really use the kind of perspective and the kind of size of the shapes in it to work out whereabouts they're going to go along the bridge. Okay, let's get up a few more people.
Yeah, it really seems like starting with the edges is very popular with this one. But I also think it's because there is so many things that connect to those edges very early on. Like that, I actually now I see Hannah over there is actually working on that darker blue corner that I mentioned about the sky.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it opens up you can see it's got the kind of top of Big Ben in place as well. So like you say, there's that having the edge in place opens up a lot of options in terms of where to go next. Freya again, yeah, with that same corner, that same kind of dark blue piece in place in the top of Big Ben, and then Ida, I think, with that kind of on the left hand side with that kind of lamppost area. but again with that yellow section at the bottom already in place.
It's also like I think this is like one of the most challenging times to participate in online competitions because at least if we live in Nordic, because I mean, I assume you have same situation. There's no light outside, so you only rely on the artificial lights that you have at home.
Yeah, and I've tried so many things to get it to be to avoid the glare, and I guess Clementine slightly more, maybe slightly more glossy than some brands, and Ravensburger maybe. Um, so yeah, we'll see how much of a part that plays tonight.
Yeah, I think it's usually more tricky if you have like a darker pieces that don't have like a very clear pattern or some details on them, but just more like subtle element changes.
Yeah, there's a couple that I've tried to do over the winter, but I thought no, this was a bad idea. I really can't tell the difference between the colours of these pieces.
But it's a good practice though. I mean, I always say make it harder to make it easier. Because then there is people who always practice in much better like sunlight, and then they come, for example, to a competition that it's like one of those underground places that we have in a lot in Nordic, where you play sports usually, and it's all artificial light. So just might be harder for your eye to adjust. I think it's more about the adjustment rather than whether the light is good or bad, because it's the same for everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, I think it really, having done a couple in the kind of yeah, under artificial light, and then getting to do one in the sunlight, you really notice that difference. So maybe when we get to competition season under really good lighting, it would be pleasantly surprised as to how good that looks. Okay, on screen now we have Ina back for the first time in a little while. She's got that top edge in place. Yeah, not quite. Not It's difficult to tell from here what that is. Oh, we can see Karen. First time with us. Hi, Karen. Fantastic that you're with us. First time with us, but really good results in both the Swedish and Nordic championships last year. I think that's the first complete bus we've seen
Yes.
so far. So I'm guessing that's the larger of the kind of three buses, and yeah, also that yellow section as well. And then Carolina, that top edge all put together, and some more of the yeah, working down a little bit on that sky, and then just yeah, on the bottom edge as well, almost completely done.
Yeah, I think what makes the sky a bit harder is the clouds in it. Clouds like that are like so hard in puzzles.
Yeah, I think we had one recently where there were lots of clouds, and you had yeah, 3 or 4 clouds through the sky, and they were all the same colour. So although you could do the bits that were kind of clear sky, the actual cloud parts were yeah were very tricky.
Yeah, somebody also saying in the chat, fun to see the different styles. I absolutely have to agree with that. And I said, I think this is one of those puzzles that just you can do this in very different order, and there is no right or wrong.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it looks at the end, whether most people leave the sky or the building. I think for me it was the bridge that was the last section, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. I think Ina's actually working on the bridge maybe. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what people leave to last. Okay, let's get some.
Oh, this is always fun when there's more than one
Yeah,
person doing the puzzle.
we can
I mean,
always
not like different, but
rely on the Linköping gang to be puzzling together. Yes, so Cotta working on, I think working on the sky section. Linda with yeah, a few piles, maybe red pile there in the middle, and then Lynn with the yeah working on the buses. So yeah, taking your advice, pulling out those red sections with the and also with the frame pretty much done.
I really want to do a Clementoni someday in an actual like on-site competition.
Yeah, I think
Who's
it's
gonna
fun.
call that?
I'm surprised they're not kind of because to say I really enjoy them. I really like the cut. I think it's a good cut. I think they're good quality. I think they're kind of fun. But yeah, I don't know if they're just they've never really seen speed puzzling as a kind of a way to go from a kind of business point of view, or but yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think
haven't
it's
really
like
seen them
the
crop up in competitions.
yeah, it's not a big market like if you compare to the whole world of people who buy, jigsaw puzzles. And then we do have Ravensburger who is kind of like the go-to sponsor, and also they kind of want to sponsor because
Mm.
they have the volume now, so they can just add one more competition to it. But then some other brand might be a bit harder to get. Like it, they would need to really put the effort into it, and then it obviously higher the stakes of like what's in it for that business. I think we need to also be because I feel like a lot of people in the puzzle community do talk about this. It would be nice to do, but I think we also need to be a little bit proactive in a way of contacting these brands ourselves if we organize competitions. Like, hey, would you like to sponsor this? And we would like to work with you, other than just waiting for them to like call some random association.
No, absolutely. And but I think it can have a real impact. I mean, I know I've chatted to a couple of people over the last couple of days about trying to get Gibson's puzzles since they were kind of announced as one of the sponsors or kind of puzzle brands for the World Series. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been difficult to get certainly the round ones, and some of the other Gibson puzzles have look like they're selling very well at the moment. Okay, on screen now we have Lynn Merritt, Maria, Maria TB. Lots of sky going on. Yeah,
I love
lots of
both.
those yellow sections.
Yeah, I love both of the Maria's space management, but you would know that. I'm a
Yeah,
fan.
yeah, I can. Yeah, that's something I've been working on a lot, and I'm glad to say it looks my space management looks a lot better than my than maybe the last time you saw it. So
Yeah, I think you sent me an email about it. I don't know if I will reply to you, but I saw it. I read it and I was very happy about it.
yeah, and it does. Yeah, it does make it makes a difference. Kind of narrowing down the amount of space you have to look at to find things. Because I think before I had I was completely spread out, and whether you're trying to sort out a few pieces for a color you've seen, or whether you're looking for a specific piece, having everything together is a yeah feels like a a big improvement. Yeah, Maria as well. I think we've seen a lot of people go for that kind of top right corner, the darker blue, Big Ben, and then yeah, lots of those cloud pieces sorted out as well.
Yeah, it's looking like a very good progress. I actually have a question for you.
Mm.
Now that we talked about this space management, have you actually also practiced with the small table? Considering that competitions are coming up, and usually often in some nationals, you might be surprised how small the table or space
I,
you have.
I have. I was looking at I actually I kind of marked off because the table I use at home is quite big, so I marked off the space that we're going to have for the World Series. Um, I actually find that in some ways it helps. I think if it's too big, then I
Yeah,
kind of things become too because I've got a kind of big table at home I use if it's a kind of 1,000 piece puzzle just kind of need that extra space. But if I try and do 500 on there, everything just becomes too spread out. It just slows me down finding things and looking for things. So I think it actually helps reducing
yeah.
that size a bit.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because it goes back to the space management. Obviously, there's a lot of factors I've explained to you why to do it that way, but one thing is also like it has the same logic that when you have pieces all over, it gets a little bit scattered. So you have sometimes that same problem with the bigger table because they scatter a little bit further away, and you don't even realize it. So sometimes even though it feels like okay there's too little space, but it actually makes faster because every small movement it's just a little bit faster because of the distance is not that much.
Yeah, I'm slightly I'm nervous about the panorama one because the that obviously their space management's going to come into going to come in to play a lot there because I think the width of it is almost the entire width you've got.
Yeah, we can chat about that in the Danish nationals in a couple of weeks because somebody had asked me the same question when we were talking about space management, and there is well, we can figure that out. It's not a problem, but you're right. There's a little bit of tweaks coming to this panorama puzzles.
Okay, on screen we have Marina and Michelle looking yeah, very similar strategy there with the bigger bus, the maybe all three buses coming into place. Yeah, looking very similar. And then Miriam with the yeah with that top right darker blue section that we've seen quite a few times. That yeah, and I think all of the boards are done. Yeah, I'd say that just those kind of simple space management tips. You know, I think I said this to you that um, it was something I was aware of, but didn't really kind of know what to do. But I think it's kind of yeah, it's made such a kind of big difference. Such
Yeah.
as it's one of those things that it's a simple change, but feels like it's had a kind of big impact on I think just yeah just how relaxed how kind of I feel more relaxed. I kind of know where things are. Much more than kind of when they're kind of completely spread out.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, I feel like I would be a really bad coach if I would give like tips that are like hard to execute, you know? So in the end, it's a lot of simple things, but what is always important to me that people understand why. So then they feel like confident because they understand why we're doing this. What's the actual science behind it that supports of doing it that way? So then they have the confidence also. As I told you, sometimes you have to do something new for at least 2 weeks before your brain gets adjusted to it and see the benefits. So if you wouldn't even understand why we're doing something differently, you would probably give up after the first try.
Yeah, absolutely, and just the fact that we had that conversation about do I have them on the left, the pieces on the left and work on the right, or the other way around, and just having an explanation as to why why I should have them in a particular place was yeah something I hadn't thought about, but yeah it makes obvious sense when you think about it.
Somebody's cheering for Michelle. Fun to see you on the other side, guys. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Okay, just over 27 minutes gone. make sure we get through everyone. So here we have Ruta, first time with us. Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. I was lucky enough to meet Ruta down in there was a in-person competition in Stockholm a few weeks ago, so we got to meet there. But first time on Puzzle Rush, so yeah, thanks for joining us. Looking good. Yeah, bus is in place and working on that. It's probably the most of that bridge section we've seen in place at this point. Sabine with the buses, the top section, and then Sana really working on that sky section. Oh, and with the lamppost in place as well.
Yeah, it seems like even though people maybe started with a little bit different sections, but if we look at the kind of like the halfway through of the puzzle, it seems like it was pretty much the same choices. So that's always sometimes interesting to me as well, that even though people start off differently, on the 50% mark, they usually did the same sections just in a little bit different order.
Mm. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what gets left to the end. I think the water looks quite tricky, but there's a lot of texture there. There's kind of more colour than it maybe looks like on the picture. Yeah, we will see. So just coming up to the half-hour mark.
Oh yeah, I just realized I can see from the live stream the timer because yeah, I can see the timer now as well. I had no idea how far are we. All right.
Okay, on screen we have Smilla with that looking really good with that whole kind of centre section done from left to right with the buses and quite a lot of the buildings as well. Looking really good there. Really just with the kind of the bridge and the river and the sky sections to go very similar. In fact, Tobias looks like he's taken a similar strategy. So the kind of the centre section first, and then working on the top and bottom sections.
Yeah, I think this is definitely, I almost mentioned this when we started because I feel like this is one of those puzzles that have like a different sections depending on people's preferences. And we know, for example, Tobias does very well with details and identifying like one single piece from the image. So I'm not surprised at all to see this because the sky is something that you cannot really just pick up a blue piece and be like, oh, it's in this part of the sky. So this kind of makes sense to me that he's working first the more detailed parts where he's very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Smilla's similar. I think she likes the kind of detailed puzzles as well. Whereas you can see, yeah, Teresa's got a lot more of the sky section done.
Quick question: you cannot hear my dog barking in the background.
No.
Yes, that's why I actually came today. I usually come to this with my puzzle Google account, but I came with my companies today because they have a noise reduction that I'm paying for. And my dog is barking like nuts right now. I can barely hear myself, so just wanted to make sure.
No, it's quite amazing how good that noise reduction is sometimes. I like sit
Yeah.
here in meetings and there's like chaos going on outside. It's like, can you not hear that? It's like, no, we can't hear anything.
Yeah, it is insane how good it is because I literally like I feel like I'm screaming together with my dog to trying to find who is louder. All
Okay, on
right.
screen we have lost two competitors. We have Tuli joining us first time from Finland. Welcome, thanks for joining us. And we have Civ with looking really good on that sky. Quite a lot of that kind of a lot of that top left hand section done and in place. And then yeah, Thule working more like we saw before with that kind of center stripe of buses and buildings.
Hmm. I feel like I haven't seen too many people having like a black table.
No, I have a so I've when it works for me time wise, I tend to now come to my office and do the EJJs and the other competitions just because
Mm.
the office lighting is much better, and I have a black table and actually I really like it. I think it works. It seems to work really well. I mean, my table at home is wooden and it's okay, but I find I'm quicker at least on the black table than I am on the wooden table.
Yeah, I feel like I don't like wooden ones either. I prefer to get like one solid color. So in my house, that would be white. But I can see that point. I feel like the wooden one blends more with much more puzzles than when it's black or white. You just get in trouble with very specific type of puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it was a very dark puzzle, the black would be difficult. But I think for most of the puzzles I've tried on it, it's worked really well.
All right, we are
So,
getting closer here.
so what are we on? Just 34.5 minutes. So yeah, Tobias, just a couple more pieces for that bottom section, and then just the sky to go. Emilia, yeah, putting some of those clouds together. Freya with a lot of the sky done. Some of that kind of the bridge in the bottom section to go. Let's just check in on Ida as well. Yeah, so I think we had a bit of a topic for today, which was about setting goals. It's something I've been kind of thinking
Yeah,
quite a lot about because I think it's my second year going to these competitions. Last year I didn't really have any expectations. My goal was to kind of to go and have fun and see what it was about and just mainly enjoy it. Um, and then
yeah.
yeah, this year it feels like yeah, it would be good to have some kind of goal, but knowing what that should be when it's clearly not to win, but trying to decide what a realistic and useful goal for me would be. Yeah, so yeah, what are your thoughts on the kind of process of setting goals and what those goals should look like?
Yeah, well, I had a bunch of notes for this. I love talking about goals because I feel like, I mean, we people, we love making goals, but I told you there is a lot of research on this, and we know that most of the goals are never achieved because the goal itself doesn't do anything. Then you have to have also the actions. And I feel like I always, when I have a coaching session, I always obviously ask what is people's goals because that is something then we plan the whole practice and everything too. And there's kind of like a three types to go with this. A lot of people have like a like I want to say I always say people I would love to like do a skydive or something but because it sounds cool but I'm never actually going to do that. So a lot of people just say that, oh, I want to win my country's championship, but then like they have no idea of how they're actually going to do it. Do they have enough time to practice that much, for example, or and also like why do they actually want to be the champion? Because I think that's also an important question. And then we have a lot of people who just answer, and usually the answer is something like, I just want to do a little bit better, but it's not very concrete of like what the better looks like for them. And I feel like it's a lot of times it's just an answer that we're taught by the society to answer that anything we're always asked, we need to be a little bit better person, in every aspect of life. And then sometimes people just say, I don't have goals. And then I'm like, are you sure? Because, for example, I just want to have fun is a goal. And then my question would be, okay, what does fun look like for you? Like, what are the ingredients of it? And then we can focus on that. For example, making your practice fun or things like that. So yeah, I feel like there's different kind of goals, but always kind of like know the why behind your goals. So
So do you tend to make goals these days for will you have kind of goals when you go to the kind of championships that are coming up?
well, my goal has changed a lot this year. I actually haven't done one single puzzle the whole year. And my new goal going for these nationals that I'm already committed of going to is just to have fun with people. Of course, anything that comes with it, good results and stuff like that, it's a plus. And of course, I will always do my best, but it's not my goal. My goal right now is just to have fun. And for me, that also means doing my travel plans in time. As you know, we talked today, and I didn't even realize there's no airport nearby the Danish nationals. And I'm like, I know that if I don't do my travel plans in time, I will look like a person who just licked a lemon or something when I come there. So that can be important too. Just make a good travel plan so you ensure you can actually have fun and focus on the people there.
Yeah, and for I guess for people going for the first time, I think that's probably a good goal to yeah just to enjoy it to kind of experience what these competitions are like. I certainly know last year that was mine. I had kind of a very little, especially when I got there, I realised I had no idea what this experience was going to be like, and remember shaking coming in with all the lights and music and things. So I think yeah, this is a bit more tricky because it feels like I should have a goal to it, like improve on where I was last year, or to to have made some kind of development, and trying to kind of quantify that into a goal is not is quite difficult.
Yeah, and for people who are going first time into these big competitions, I always recommend that you have more like a personal goal of like, for example, that your performance is better than what it has been when you practice at home, for example. Because if you go to these fully competitive goals, like I want this placement, or I want to have this result, you have to understand there's a lot of things you cannot control because you cannot control how other people practice. You don't even know probably all the people who are coming there. You don't know what kind of puzzle you're going to get. So there's a lot of these factors that you have absolutely no control over that will then impact on your outcome. And if you have a goal on that, it's going to be really hard. So I rather have for those people that they compare just to themselves, whatever goal they have.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. Like you say, there's so much you can't control how other people do, just what the puzzle is, whether it's something that suits you or something that doesn't, is going to have such a massive impact on potentially where you place or how you do.
Yeah, well, when I coach and people come to me like, okay, I want to get better, I want to do better times than this, and like that's fine. Then we work on that. But if somebody comes to me, for example, I want to be a champion, they have a good reason for that, and they know they really want to go for it, then I'm basically just slamming on the table all the facts that you do know that you have these people you're gonna compete against. That's their time now. My estimate that their time is gonna be somewhere here. I can see that you're not at all good at these puzzles. You really have to practice these puzzles because you cannot control if you're gonna get one of these. So it's in the end, it's just about like understanding the how much effort because you don't want to set goals that you don't have the resources to, for example, practice enough because then you're just setting yourself up to disappointment
No,
and you don't,
absolutely.
yeah.
Right, we're looking. This looks like a very close finish here between Tobias and Amelia.
Yep,
Both
it's
looking,
hard
what,
to say
20
which one.
pieces of clouds left. I think this is going to be a very, very tight finish. I think coming
Yeah,
up
that's
just
gonna be like seconds between, I would assume.
who's going to take it? Can Tobias make it four in a row? Or is it
I
Amelia?
I oh yeah, I always wonder like when it's such a tight situation, is there are both of them has they muted us? Is either one hearing how tight the situation is? Are they both completely in the dark? Um, It's interesting.
It is, and yeah, whether that is helps or not, I think the other tip I really kind of picked up from you was to hide the timer, and
Yeah, it
that
can
that
go either way.
because it's not helpful helpful thing. Is it going to be Amelia
I
just
think so.
sneaking ahead?
I think so.
Two
Yes, yes,
left.
yes. Woo!
Fantastic. Well done, Amelia. 43.01.
Oh, she's gonna be carrying me in the nationals. I'm telling you already.
Tobias just behind.
But not far behind, not at all. And both hands, those last pieces. Let's go.
Oh, well
Yes.
done, Tobias. 43.22. What was that? 21 seconds. Fantastic work. Okay, I'm just going to bring a
Awesome.
couple more people up. Oh, it's always good to have a nice tight finish. Let's see who's on for third. We've got Hannah, Ida, Freya, with probably a similar amount of sky to do. Freya with some of the kind of bottom section as well. What did we say? 43.01. Yeah, looks like you've got a good pairs partner for the Danish Championships.
Yeah. Now I'm just hoping that she's aware of my new goals.
So I'm just having a look, see if there's anyone else we need to bring up.
Yeah, you're definitely responsible for that. I'm just looking at the screens that stand over there.
Oh, we've got some cheering on for BB in the chat, and some congratulations from Anarus. It's looking close now I think between Ida and Hannah.
Yeah. Interesting. I feel like
Yeah,
a lot of people are actually doing the sky last.
yeah. No, it looks yeah. Say that was first thing. I was thinking about the upcoming championships. I guess that idea of goal setting is even more difficult when you're going into pairs and teams with people you've never puzzled before. And then there really it has to be like you said, to have fun and enjoy it, and the kind of you never quite know how you're going to work together, what kind of people's strengths and weaknesses are. So yeah, I think to go in like you are with the kind of goal of enjoying it and having fun and meeting people and making the most of it, the event is definitely the most important thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think pairs and teams. I think maybe pairs, if it's somebody that you're able to also practice often with, then you can have really align your goals. But I think if with teams, it's even more trickier because a lot of times you have people that, you live in different places and you only come together for the competitions. And I'm telling you this, in teams, if you have even one person who has completely different goal, let's say there are some people who are completely there for fun, and then you have like those super competitive people. It's gonna clash with the dynamics and everything. So it is actually important to kind of say out loud like, hey, I'm actually here just for fun. So then at least you understand where the other people are with their goals.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, maybe we need to have that discussion before Denmark just to make sure we're all there with the same goals.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I said I always try my best, that's for sure. I just haven't practiced, so I think that's like important information for people, so then they're not like surprised. Because this is a funny story. I'm not gonna tell the whole story, but I have been once accused of doing puzzle too slow and not trying my best. But it was funny because we were casually puzzling, so I thought it was fine. I was on my phone and I was like, I was not having it. I was literally just looking at the pieces and
Oh, third place,
my,
Ida. Fantastic work. Thank you. Well done. 47.16. Congratulations.
wow. Good times.
Yeah, 350 minutes. I think we probably might get a couple more. Smiller looking good. Hannah looking good.
Yeah, last piece is going in over there, I think. Not too many.
Oh,
And
got
it's always that the very last ones usually go super fast.
yeah. Thule, the first person we're seeing not finishing with the sky. I think that's pretty. That was close to my strategy. Hannah
Ta-da!
Dunn, congratulations, fourth place, 48.08. Fantastic work.
And who are the next people?
So I've got Freya and Smilla looking close together.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of these that there's just very little time difference between the placements.
We'll get a couple more finishes, then we can see who is around for a chat. Michelle also on that sky to finish with.
I just realized that you're pinning 4 and I can only see 3.
Oh, can you?
But
Oh, okay.
but that's my side problem. But I just realized it now. I was like, who finished? Why weren't you showing them? And I was like, nope, you are showing them.
Looks like
Such a
Smilla's going to
class.
sneak in for, was it 5th place?
Yep. Look at those. And
Excellent, well
yes.
done. 49.41, just under 50 minutes. Fantastic work.
Awesome. I love those plants as well over there.
Okay, just going to look around, see who to maybe bring up. Yeah, Ruta looking good with a bit of the top and bit of the bottom to do. Okay, shall we see if Amelia is there for a chat?
I am. Hello.
Hi Amelia, congratulations.
Thank you.
43.01, fantastic time.
Oh, I'm exhausted.
That was it was incredibly close at the end. Very, very exciting. Could you hear us? Did you have the commentary on?
Yeah, I had, and it's. I thought I heard that you said Tobias was finished, so I was like, oh damn. But then I realized that he weren't, and I'm like, yes. Oh, but I was so nervous before because this was the first competition for me this year.
Oh
Good
wow,
start.
okay.
Yeah.
Excellent start.
Yeah.
Only victories this year, right?
What?
Only victories this year.
Going strong so far.
Exactly. Or just leave it at this, and then you can say that I won 100% of the competitions I participated this year.
What did you think of the puzzle? Is it
I
your
loved
kind
it.
of your kind of puzzle?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely my kind of puzzle, like a bit sky. I would like to have some more water, but sky and like Big Ben or Eiffel Tower, some buses. A bridge is also nice. I would say it fitted me perfectly.
Oh, fantastic.
I just want to let you know that if we would have done this as a pair, I would have been very happy to do the sky. Upside down.
That would work.
Yeah. I think Michelle is ready. Yes.
Yeah, well done, Michelle.
Got it.
52-34. Oh, I can just bring up the finishes on the live stream as well. Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about kind of setting goals and that kind of thing. How do you go about that when you're thinking ahead to kind of Denmark and to Sweden? Are you someone who kind of sets yourself goals before the championships, or how do you approach that?
I usually set goals, but I haven't had the time to do it this year so far because I've had a lot in school to prioritize. But I will definitely set some goals. But for as the pairs and teams, it will just be fun to puzzle with someone else because I haven't speed puzzling with someone else. I've tried with my sister, but she doesn't like to do it fast. So it's just me speeding, and I feel like she's not speeding at all. So
No, it's definitely an interesting change. I did my first kind of pairs competition a couple of weeks ago, and it's a very very different feeling. And it was nice. I kind of got to do the edge and looked up, and suddenly half of the rest of the puzzle was already done. It's a fantastic feeling.
that's nice.
But Robert, you have done teams, right?
Well done, Thule. Fantastic work. Congratulations. I did teams at the Swedish Championships last year, and then at the marathon as well. So yeah, a bit of experience with teams.
That's a good amount of experience.
I feel like in teams there are just going to be a lot of hands everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. I have learned this kind of. I was actually talking about this in my last speed up session, but it's good if you're able to put pieces in blindly. I mean that if you identify that the piece goes there, that you're able to look elsewhere already and put it there, because especially in teams, a lot of times you do have the arms on the way. So if you're able to put it under the arm, you just know where it goes, and you have this kind of like coordination to place it without seeing it. It's actually a very good skill to have.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
It'll be great. It'll go absolutely, absolutely brilliantly.
We'll be all canceling the Swedishness. No, I'm just kidding.
And you're going to the World Series as well?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that
That
looks
will
like
be
a
exciting.
yeah. It looks like it's very very exciting. I think that's going to be a fantastic event.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because it's such a different concept, and I feel like it's a concept that a lot of people have been kind of like asking for all these years, to have like a round and then sum it up, the scores and everything. So very excited for that one as well, even though it's just a solo.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's also exciting that it's many rounds, so it's very generous to be part of, and you're not like eliminated.
Yeah, that is also true because, for example, in the Worlds, sometimes if you're not sure if you will qualify, there might be that you're just competing the first couple of days and then you're kind of like out. Of course, there's so many people and other things to do as well, so it's not that bad. But yeah, the World Series is definitely going to be interesting because you really get to give your all for working a puzzle. So you don't have to be thinking about like, oh damn, I wish I was on that round.
Nope.
No, it's going to bring in that test of stamina as well, because there's not a long break between. I think it's 75-minute competitions and a 45-minute break between. So certainly for some of us, there's not going to be a not long break in between.
That's interesting. I haven't even thought about it. but that's probably because I never even checked the schedule. I just hung up. But yeah, no, that's actually interesting because I know I did a couple of years ago, I tested out how many puzzles I can do standing because I do know I do stand when I do a puzzle. So I tested out how many I can do, and with like 2 weeks practice, all the way up to 5 I could do in a row. But after that, I was like laying down for a couple of days. So
Did you see Ken Adams' 24-hour solo International Puzzle Day Marathon?
No.
So he did a live stream of just doing 500-piece puzzles for 24 hours straight on his own. It's don't know
Madness.
how he wasn't hallucinating by the end of that.
You're
you,
probably dreaming about the piece cut and the pictures and
yeah, that's a long hours. I could not do that.
Well, looks like we've got the fourth member of the team, Cameron, just with some of that kind of that darker bridge section to go. Ruta with some of the kind of sky section.
Interesting that he's not building the sky last.
Hmm.
We have one odd bird in our team.
that's good.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say the same. It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, Cameron's on dark sections when in there for the team's competition.
Oh, you can hear us. Got it. No gossiping. And I'm doing great. You're awesome.
But Robert, how did you build this puzzle? I was listening, but I was also in my bubble.
So from what I can remember, I did the sky, pretty much all of the sky first, and I think I finished with the bridge. I tend to do skies for like recently, skies being the kind of thing I tend to start with. And yeah, I think it was the kind of green, those kind of green kind of star shapes along the bridge that I kind of finished with. Yeah, you did the sky last, Amelia?
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
But
yeah, because
I was doing like bits of it along the way. I also love sky, but I usually tend to leave them to the end. I don't know if it's because I love them
Hey,
or
well done, Cameron. 1 hour, just missed 1 hour 36 seconds. Fantastic work.
Amelia, you were in the middle of a sentence. I want to hear the rest of it.
No, I was just saying that I love skies, but I don't know if I tend to leave it to the end because I love it or if it's just, I don't know.
I think it really depends on the sky as well. I generally hate when people they either love or hate skies because there's so many different kind of skies. Like some skies are so easy if they're like fully gradient, no clouds, or they have like very structured clouds, or they have like a lightning or something in them. So it really depends what type of sky it is. But I think in this case, Mila, you're probably a little bit more detail oriented as a speed buzzer. So I think that's. But also a lot of people left the sky last. So I think you were just good identifying that it's not the fastest thing to start with, which is a good thing. So no shame on Robert or Cameron. Side note.
Right. So we've got 3 people Marina and Ruta coming in really close next to each other. Maybe Marina next, looking really good.
I think she may have heard us. I saw a little movement when you said that very close.
just speeding up a little bit for those last
Yeah,
last few pieces.
I'm not sure, but it looked like that. in my eyes that something clicked like, oh God damn it, then I have to do this a bit faster.
Brilliant. Well done, Marina. Fantastic time. 1:02:39. Okay, let me just see who we can get up next. It's tricky now. So many people in a similar kind of position.
What's the max time? I should know, but I don't know.
2 hours.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When I started doing puzzles, I could not finish a puzzle in under 2 hours.
Okay.
And look at you now.
Yeah, exactly. Look at me now. Yeah, it was. I remember back then because I was, and this was actually not. This was when I started taking time. So this was already when I started speed puzzling. But I remember I wasn't even looking at what Alejandro's times were. I was just like, how can they have a 90-minute limit in the Wells? Like that is impossible to do anything under 90 minutes. But yeah, here we are. So
Yeah, it's definitely it's all possible. With a bit of training, bit of coaching, and yeah.
yeah, but it's something I think is a really good thing for me that that's where I started because I coach a lot of people who say that, oh, I would never be able to this, like I'm at 2-hour mark, like this is just not for me. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's how I started. So technically you're already faster than I was when I started.
Last few pieces in going in for Root and Karin. It's going to be another close finish. Oh no, Karin got a few more over to the side there. Lynn nearly done. Well done, Lynn. Fantastic work. And Ruta, seconds after. Fantastic. Yeah, just a couple of seconds in between. Fantastic.
Crazy.
Do like a good tight finish. Right. Cool. Well, yeah. Thanks, Amelia. Congratulations. Amazing time. 43 minutes and 1 second. And yeah, can't wait to get the team together. If everyone gets their trains and various connections and things in Denmark.
It will be so fun.
Yes.
Great. Thanks
See
so much. Cheers. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Bring up Sana. Tobias, I'm not sure whether you're still with us. We've been chatting for a while.
Saw him, so he better be here. I can see him on the list. Yes.
Yeah, he's still there.
I'm here. I'm just some camera issue, but maybe we can do it without the image.
Nah, we know how you look like. We can imagine.
Yeah.
Pat talking.
Congratulations, great time.
Thank you. It was a fun race against Emilia, so we heard you.
Oh yeah,
you
okay.
could hear us as well.
It was much more relaxing when you talked about other puzzle stuff than the competition here, because then it gets really nervous.
Yeah, that is true. You can just like zone out, listen what we're saying, then I'm like, oh, they're so like neck and neck. Who's gonna win?
Yeah, but when I know we were close and it was Sky left, I know that Emilia had it. So, but congratulations to her.
Yeah, it was close. How did you like the puzzle?
It was fun, but it's hard it's a lot of repetition in this one, like several buses and the bridge. It's the same pattern and the Parliament building in the background and so on. So it's a challenge, but it's fun when you have to rely on the perspective and other clues.
Yeah, I can almost puzzle as well.
But I like the Dominic Davidson. It's a special style that you really recognize once you have done a few of them.
Interesting. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
What is, yeah,
it's definitely quite an unusual. It's a slightly different cut. The kind of shapes are yeah, they're pretty unique. It's kind of quite loose, but the shapes are quite distinctive.
Yeah, I haven't done much Clementoni, but I liked it. But it's not the common one for me. I like the rounded corners. That's very typical.
yeah, that's true. We were talking about, oh, you were listening to us. We were talking about goals. So what are your goals for this upcoming championship season?
I think I've stopped making goals, but I always want to be in the front, especially in the nationals and those competitions. But often I wait till I actually see the puzzles, because then I know if it's something that I can really be competitive in or not. So, but I know that I plateaued in my time, so I know I do as fast as I can, but there's always other people that keep improving and getting ahead of you. So you can't, as you said, you can't control that. So you just have to make times that you can be proud of afterwards.
Just on that subject, I had a question about. I don't know if you know Sixten. I believe he's from the same town as you.
Oh, I just discovered that when I looked through the participants for the Swedish nationals. But he
So
wasn't here today, right?
he
But
wasn't
he
here
seems to be
today.
doing faster and faster.
He looks incredible, Amelia. So he started doing Puzzle Rush kind of last summer and was
Mm-hmm.
getting hour and 10 minutes, and then is getting kind of slightly better. And I almost missed him finishing on the last one because he came kind of third out of the Swedes. And if you look at his My Speed puzzling, he's doing so many puzzles and quite a few of the Ravensburg puzzles. He's got the fastest recorded time. Faster than
Yeah,
he's
he's
do, he's
approaching
do,
the 30-minute mark now.
he's doing them 8 times, and by the last one he's recording quicker times than Victor. So he looks like a really exciting and he's only young. I haven't quite worked out quite how old he is, but he's only young. And he's going to be at the Swedish Championship. So yeah, he's definitely one to watch. Looks like an exciting talent.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm excited now. Like I haven't been in the puzzle community for months, so I'm out of the loop of everything. But I'm excited to talk with him if he's coming to the Swedish Championship because I always want to understand what's behind this kind of progress. And quite often it's not. I can see if he's doing a lot of puzzles, but it sounds like he also have a great passion for it. And probably if he's younger, he still has this kind of like very growth mindset and going into it with an open mind, which usually counter affects the plateau that other people often hit if they do too many puzzles. So yeah, sounds interesting. Sad that he wasn't here today, but I'm intrigued for sure.
Yeah, he's in the one just before the Swedish Championships. If you're back for that one, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does there. But yeah, Tobias, I saw he
yeah,
was
that
from. I
competition will be interesting to see the status just before the competition. And it's always fun when there's a few new names every
Yeah.
championship that you haven't heard of before or are suddenly in the top.
No, I noticed he was from your town and wondered if he'd been getting some coaching from you or anything, or but
No,
just
I haven't found it on Instagram, and then it's hard to really connect.
we've got another close finishing coming up here between Sana and BB. Few pieces between you. Looks like Sana's going to take the next spot. About 1 minute 12, 1 hour 12. Fantastic, well done, Sana.
Well done.
excuse me, just going to bring up someone else. Yeah, so what are we, three weeks away from the beginning of competition season? You feeling
Yeah, so
you feeling well trained and confident?
not really. I haven't trained that much yet, but I got the new releases of Ravensburger, so I will go through them a couple of times at least. So.
Yeah, I saw you tried at least one of the tricky ones with the boats. That yeah, that doesn't look
Yeah, that's really just pick and place until you just melted your brain.
yeah,
And I
that
have
one's
the
sorry,
I have
go on.
the red, it's the sea of red or what it's called left, and that's will be even worse. I expect, but we'll see.
Yeah, that doesn't look. I was thinking I'd seen the picture they put out, and I was thinking, well, maybe when it comes, there'll be a bit of some way to kind of tell between the various kind of red balls, but no, it looks like that everyone looks pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Interesting. I haven't even seen any of the new releases. Like literally, I have not seen one single picture. So I'm gonna be in for a great surprise if one of those comes up. Yeah.
I think it's an interesting year because yeah, they've done a release of 6 or 7 new ones, but there's not many that are really suitable for an individual event. So with the all of the kind of Nordic nationals to kind of cope for or to cater for, it'll be interesting to see kind of yeah, whether they use this year's releases or whether they have to kind of yeah, go for something else.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I would assume more finals at least start having unpublished or the ones that are going to be released later the year, but we'll see because also a lot of championships are growing, so we have more rounds also. But yeah, interesting. Tobias, are you coming to the Danish nationals as well?
Yes, so we'll see you there.
Awesome. I also had some other business I wanted to send you a message about, but I'll have to. You've been on my mind. I have some ideas for you, but I'll have to send you a message.
You do that, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know now because it's been a month.
Yeah.
It's been on my mind, and so now I'm saying out loud, so I actually have to send you the message.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because I think you're one of the I really respect the way you do puzzles. I think you're very strong on the pick and place, and that's really something interesting for me. And I think you would have a lot of things to share about the style you do puzzles. So
yeah. From my perspective, it's I have to improve on everything else. You can have different perspectives.
Yeah, I mean, you probably heard a lot of my commentaries where I commented the way you do puzzles, so we're on the same page on that. But I do really respect the very strong style that you have because not a lot of people, even if they have preference to do the puzzles the similar way that you do, they're not that strong. I think you're the strongest one on the pick and place. So.
I did a kind of I did a experiment. Let's call it a bit not an experiment, but an attempt during the week with last year's Swedish finals puzzle, which is like my nemesis. I really struggle with it. It's the porcelain pups, the kind of Ravensburger shells with books and pups, and I think in the SM last year I got kind of 1 hour and 7 minutes. And I thought, okay, I'll do the exercise you suggested where you basically pick and place everything. So
yes, but
leave
that was 100 pieces.
Leave the. Why did it? I thought, okay, I'll try it with this. So I did the whole thing, just pick out a handful of pieces, pick and place everything, and I got like 1 hour and 3 minutes, and it's like. And I was like, I didn't look at the timer, and I was like shocked that what feels like, because I noticed that when you do it to piece, you look so calm, and it's pick a piece, look at the box, place it, and yeah, it was like really interesting to see when you kind of do something, that feels like so controlled and maybe not particularly speedy, but over the kind of course of 500 pieces, it really does it really does work.
With that kind of puzzle, yes.
So yeah, a lot more, some more pick and place training is definitely on the agenda.
All right. Thank you for tonight. It was a really fun puzzle. I will probably do this one again because
And
the Ravensburger one is mostly photos that are released now, and I really like this style. So thank you again.
you're
Awesome.
welcome.
Thank you.
Fantastic,
Congrats.
and
Yeah.
congratulations on a fantastic time.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Cool. So Lynn, just coming up to the finish. We have 19 finishes so far. Just under 1 hour 19 minutes. So yes, still really good times. There we go. All done.
Awesome. Woo.
Congratulations. Let's bring up. Yeah, I think that's it's been very much an eye opener. Just finding time for things that for practices that isn't just doing a puzzle as you
Yeah.
would normally do it and just expecting times to get kind of gradually better. But the left hand practice, doing a 200 piece puzzle purely with your left hand, stuff like that. The kind of trial and error way when you get down to the kind of last few paces. I think having an idea of what to practice and how to practice it is and yeah, like I say, finding time for it, because it's maybe sometimes you just want to do lots of puzzles, but I think in terms of
Yeah. And it's just really important to really separate those practices, because if you just do a 500 piece, you always have your own preference that you will fall into. So you don't really get to practice, the weaknesses or different ways of doing a puzzle unless you kind of like force yourself into that. That's why I design a lot of practices are just focusing on that one thing, and it eliminates all the other factors as much as we can, because then you actually reach, the potential on that skill.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's you maybe don't notice the exactly what you're getting out of it or what it's improving, but when with the the left hand stuff and you suddenly realize when you then go back to a standard 500 piece puzzle competition, oh yeah, I'm actually my left hand's doing something for a change. It's not just passing with pieces to my right hand anymore. It's actually putting a few in.
Yeah, exactly. And also like filming yourself and doing your own video analysis, because you don't really see and process of what you're doing. So sometimes you look yourself from the video, and this happens when people send me the video for analyzing and they watch it themselves and they're like, oh, by the way, I've never realized I actually do this. So it's just a different perspective, because we don't really pay attention actually what are we doing while we're doing it, and it's really hard to like recall it then afterwards if there is no video proof of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's something else I need to do, some more videoing and self analysis. Definitely definitely some time for that. We got Siv, Miriam, Carolina all coming up to the end.
Just a few more pieces.
So close now.
I always say the last pieces are the easiest, except literally the last piece. I always try to put it the wrong way. I don't know what.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you managed to like rotate it about 3 times before it actually fits in.
Yeah, just like it literally does not fit. And
And it goes.
yay!
Well done, Miriam. Fantastic work.
Awesome.
1 hour 22:38.
And I think also last piece is going in over there of the bridge. Or is it the water? I don't know.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Well done,
Awesome.
Siv. Fantastic work. Just a few seconds behind. Oh, I'm very glad people seem to have enjoyed it. I know, Clementoni's a fairly big brand. As I say, it's doesn't have the kind of popularity that some do, but I really enjoy them, and like I say, it was very much instrumental into me kind of getting back into puzzling as well. So I'm really glad people seem to have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I do like it. I'm actually looking at some of my Clementoni puzzles here right now. They're literally next to me, but I like their bigger puzzles. They do have more plain images, but like also who cares? Because those are fun for casual as well.
Yeah, I think that they have such a massive selection. So they have the photographic, they have the art style. I did a couple of like Escher type ones. They have like it's such a massive range of different styles that you might not find with with some of the other brands.
Yeah, they also have like special puzzles. So I actually recommended one time Clementone just because of the variety, because they do have different kind of images, but they also have this. Sorry, I'm literally looking at it right now. It's called Platinum Collection. So have you seen it? It's like the glossiest thing there is in this whole earth.
Okay.
It's literally also black and white. I'll have to send you a picture, but I think if you Google Clementone is it called Platinum Collection? You understand? It's like literally like almost like a mirror effect on those.
Wow. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, that's a really good practice because it challenges your brain so differently. I'm like always when people complain to me that they struggle so much with Claire, I was like, do one of those, you will never complain about the Claire anymore.
So
And
it's
then
like
they also
so it's like one really colourful. The ones I'm looking at are like one really colourful element, and then black and white
yeah
on a black and white background.
yes, and it's like so glossy because it has this kind of like a mirror effect. You cannot see anything basically. Yeah, I love it. And then they also have these puzzles that are like there are more normal puzzles, 500 pieces, but they're black and white. They also have like a very small color pop, but it's like very small one. So that's how I usually recommend people to do when they complain like that they need like more variety in colors. And I'm like, do one of those. You will realize that you don't really rely on the color that much. Those black and white puzzles are actually much easier because you do see even in black and white the differences, and you just then your brain is just more wired to pay attention more to the patterns and stuff like that. But a lot of people just their brain is wired to just focus on the colors, and they miss the other clues that they could be utilizing that would make them faster. So that's why I think black and white is also very good practice for some people.
Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, it's a little bit what I say about the trial and error or understanding the shape. Just literally flip the whole puzzle so you have zero visual clues, because then your brain will learn to look at the shape because it has no other option.
Well done, Carolina. Fantastic work.
Whoop, whoop.
That's certainly something I think I need to practice for pairs and teams. I've realised that if I don't have the puzzle the right way up, I really struggle. Even if it's sky, even if it's whatever the image is. As soon as I kind of don't have it, because sometimes you turn it round if you've got a kind of section to do to get that kind of section near to you. I really struggle to kind of work on it if it's not kind of the right way up compared to the picture or how it's meant to be.
Yeah, I pulled one jigsaw puzzle related research when I was coaching somebody a couple of weeks ago, and we went actually through these kind of like cognitive skills. They're really annoying fancy words they use in science, but it's called mental rotation. So some people do struggle with that. And I'm also one of those people. So even like I know rationally when I'm looking at the image that if it's upside down. I know what is kind of on my right, it goes to the left. But in the moment, I'm just like, it's just like the brain is not braining.
Yeah, and I think for individuals that's fine, but when you get into pairs and teams, suddenly it takes on a whole new whole new relevance because you're always going to be puzzling with something that isn't you're never going to be able
Yeah,
to have everything the right way up to you.
yeah, exactly. Mm,
So we have what do we have? 6 people going. Teresa looking good. Sabine as well. Lots. I think most people. That's interesting. And most people now working on the all of the sky done, and most people now working on that kind of bottom bridge section.
yeah, I paid attention to that as well. Mm, I think that bottom part maybe requires a little bit more trial and error. I think that's a really hard to do if you just don't go for it. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah, and I think with Sabine there, you can see she's got that kind of row of there's a row of kind of shapes along the top, which is kind of fairly doable. But under that, you've just got kind of shades of green. And again,
yeah,
it's probably also the bit that where kind of lighting and environment plays the biggest part as well.
yeah, definitely. And I think, when you traditionally do puzzle, if you don't do speed puzzling and you just casually, you very rarely pick up a piece that you don't know where it goes. That's like a traditional style of doing jigsaw puzzles. Whereas for speed, it doesn't always work. You just have to kind of go for it and then figure it on the go.
Yeah, that I think that's the after we spoke, that's the kind of the part I've had most difficulty with is moving away from looking for a specific piece and just picking one up in each hand and kind of moving around and seeing where they go.
Yeah, but I think it's like it's interesting also because people don't understand how much they also because when you learn something, it becomes almost like this silent knowledge that you have that you don't even actively think yourself. You just know. So a lot of times the trial and error is not actually that much trial and error. It's just literally trusting your intuition that you pick up a piece and randomly it went there. Like it's not purely luck. It is actually because your brain knows what it's doing, even though you like in your conscious mind you don't know what you're doing. But because you practice so much, your subconscious knows what it's doing.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, it's amazing how often I'm surprised by it, but like when I've picked up the right piece and actually from a sea of kind of fairly similar pieces that you pick up the right one and it is does fit where you were looking at even though you kind of weren't maybe weren't that confident it was actually going to go in there.
Yeah, it's like I don't know why it went there, but there it went. I'm happy with the outcome. But yeah, there is just so much things going on in your mind, and that's the beauty of the practice because you actually what you do is that you just automate things, and then you can focus on the next things that you actually have to learn. That's why I always say that when somebody's really good at something, they make it look easy because it just comes so naturally for them at that point.
Oh, Cameron saying, okay, our pairs arrangement has
So
been sorted. I don't mind upside down. Oh, fantastic. That's good to know. I think it only hit me kind of fairly recently when I was doing another competition and I had a fairly small section left and just kind of I think it was a portrait one and just rotated on its side to have everything together. I just like couldn't get anything. I was like no. After 5 seconds, it was no. Has to be the right way around.
hmm Weren't you also on that EJJ? That must have been last year, but there was this mystery puzzle thing.
The
That you,
the unboxed one.
yeah, that one. I had it upside down the whole time. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, it was quite abstract, wasn't it? It was lots of
Yeah,
kind of swirls, and that was a funny one because even after I'd finished, I had no idea what I'd been building until because there was like sandals and there was trees. I had no like until I'd kind of finished it and looked at the whole thing. I had no idea what I'd been building at all.
yeah, same. I just had it like the other way around. And when I turned it, I was like, okay, this may have helped a little bit in the end, just identifying the tree and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a fun puzzle.
Well done, Cotta.
Woo!
Fantastic work.
Whoop, whoop.
Another finisher. What have we got? We're only at 1 hour 33. Plenty of time left. Teresa, not many pieces in to get in. Sabine, similar number. But yeah, everyone looking really good. Oh, that's good. Well, if Cameron's happy to do it upside down, maybe I don't need to do too much upside down practicing. I wasn't looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm also happy to do these days like upside down. I practice it like last year because I was paired with Steffi in a lot of competitions, and because she is faster than me, it just makes sense that I'm doing the upside down side, and so I got a lot of practice on that. And I know I still struggle with the mental orientation, but I have also find a way to compensate it. So I'm very like talking out loud, like, hey, I have this island, but I cannot figure it out if it's left or right, and I know you will do it in a second, so I'm just putting it there and they will slide it whatever direction it's supposed to go to. So
who was that you doing the pairs with? Steffi?
yeah, we did well in the okay, we did. I think we were second in the worlds in our classification round.
Oh,
Then we
okay,
didn't
wow.
do that well in the final, but like we make it final, we made it good, but like we were not in the top 10 or anything anymore. But yeah,
What's your
she's so good.
what's your feeling about World? Do you think you'll be going to Worlds this year? I see they've announced the it's back in Valladolid, but in a different venue.
Um, I mean, to be honest, I already have like 12 trips planned, including my work trips. So I wouldn't go there with the mindset that I'm just gonna go there to compete. I will have to have some other purpose to go there, that's for sure. So I don't know that yet. I have not signed up. Maybe they haven't even started the registration. I don't know. So I don't know yet. It depends.
Well done, Sabine. Yeah, no, I can can very much understand that.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm currently like on the progress of repurposing my purpose in the puzzle community. I have some statements coming up, but you will have to
Okay.
wait for them. One thing I have to point out here, I do like how they're keeping that poster close. Because you can keep it there on top of your puzzle if that area is already finished.
Yeah.
People forget that. It's the same if you only have the box. When you have more space, and if you're a person who looks at the box here and there, it can move. You can move it closer. It's actually brilliant. I sometimes see people doing it, and I always have to point out that is something that a lot of people don't actually do. It's so simple, but people just forget that, oh yeah, I can just move it a little bit closer and it will help.
Yeah, I think I'm probably very guilty of that, thinking about it.
Trying to see if there's some kind of shape sorting going on or no, but Also the last pieces going in.
I haven't seen much shape sorting. I think there's enough kind of detail to to avoid that.
I have opinions about that, but
Oh, always good to hear some opinions.
I mean, my thing with the shape shorting is I don't necessarily shape short in a way that people think like you can see it watching from the outside, although that person is doing shape shorting. I just look by the shape. Oh, woo! Great job,
Good
Teresa.
job.
Awesome. Yeah, but mine is more like because yeah, I hear that a lot. I love that you said that, you feel like it's not needed. But what's the mindset switch here that people need to do is that it's not about needing to do it. It's simply that looking at the shape is often faster than relying on the visual clues, even though if the visual clues are still there. And I spent so many hours analyzing this and testing it out. And sometimes I'm like, especially with the last pieces, I'm just like, just look at the shape. I understand there's still all the visual clues, but I swear to God, if I just go and put the puzzle whole way like the other way around, that you have no visual clues anymore, you would do the puzzle exactly in the same time or even faster, just looking by the shape. And it's not about that you don't recognize the visual clues. They're still there. I understand it. It's easy. But it's just the fact that the looking by the shape is actually faster than looking at the clues that are there visually. It's really hard to explain, but I do have analysis and theory on this. So
No, so and actually, I mean, it'd be interesting now. It's quite a long time that I did this, but I found myself shape sorting earlier and earlier recently, and doing kind of more detailed shape sorting. So I kind of find that once it's done, everything goes so much quicker. And I did one today where it was kind of horizontal lines and just orientating everything so all the pieces were in the kind of the right orientation. Just sped things up so much.
yeah, I think it has something. I need to talk with some neuroscientist about this, but I think it has something to do with our like processing speed. So I think because in the end, way we speed puzzle often is that we don't actually look for the right piece. We just exclude a lot of pieces that are not the right one. So I think in that case, because there is a different amount of those irregular piece shapes, so a lot of times if you look by visual clues, yes, you will find the piece, but you will actually have to process all of the pieces. Whereas shape is so much faster. I think the processing speed for shape is faster. So if you only see those two, you have only two of that shape that will go there. And most likely, if you also have the mindset that you just go for it, you will pick up the right one, by the way, instead of just kind of like going through. I mean, it's nanoseconds probably, but I think in general that it has something to do with the processing speed that is related to whether you're looking visual clues or shape, like how fast your brain can recognize and exclude the options.
Yeah, no, I think Camilla, just last one, brilliant, well done, Camilla, fantastic work. Yeah, I find myself when I've done a shape sort, you get to that point where you've got an area and you've all of the obvious shapes have kind of gone, and you're left with almost start to panic because I'm left with like completely regular shapes and there's no nice little corners to fill in or no kind of obvious shapes. So I think having those clear shapes is it makes such a difference.
But I think also with that, this obviously depends a lot in the brand and how is the cut, but a lot of even Ravensburger has, if you start looking at the small shape details like the ins and outs and the knobs and those kind of things, they have a difference. As it's very easy if I'm like, oh, this is the big one, so I'm just gonna look like something that matches. So, but this really depends on brand though. So not.
No, definitely. I find that really the Turkish brand that is used for the EJJ unreleased ones and the I find that fantastic. I can really see the shapes and to me they have such kind of distinctive shapes in size, and both the size and the shapes of the knobs that I find those go together much more quickly than Ravensburger, where it's kind of a solid color, or something that becomes very much shape based.
Yeah, and also like some puzzles are in a way that there is like this piece with more width, like I guess is the word, and then the other one is more square. So you just know it's every second.
Right.
So yeah, so there is a lot of actually coming to this shape, not just the fact that this irregular or regular shape of piece. So that's why I just find it very, very interesting. I also have this like a Sudoku theory, because sometimes it's not obvious if it's irregular or a regular piece, but sometimes you can calculate it the same way you calculate in Sudokus. You know, when you do a little bit harder Sudoku, so you don't automatically see that, oh, this number goes there, but you can exclude it in a way that no other number can go there. So it's the same logic. You can also I have to teach you this one because I think it's one of the coolest things, but it's impossible to explain without me now having some puzzle row or something to actually show, but it's a very cool trick. It really helps me because a lot of people tell me, but what about the situation where I no longer where you have irregular pieces still left, but you cannot see any place that would showcase that, oh, irregular goes here for sure. And I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah, and that you do get to know those patterns, and I find again it's not even consciously maybe, but some of the with Ravensburger certainly some of the kind of tower, the 3 in 1 out ones, where they kind of go on their side, they've got a kind of a long bit and a short bit, and you do get to recognize certain kind of things about the cut of the brand, and where like you say, where those irregular shapes might fit, where it's not particularly obvious.
Yeah, this is what I still, even though I haven't done puzzles, this is still the thing I'm really passionate about, like the science behind these things and all these like kind of like a cool tricks and almost like the mathematics behind as well, not just the cognitive psychology, but also the mathematics behind doing puzzles. So
And
yeah,
is there much research out there, or is it up to you to start doing?
so not that much that is specifically about jigsaw puzzles, but obviously cognitive psychology is a very big thing because if we even know what it's the same thing when I work with businesses and marketing or even YouTube videos. It comes down on the human behavior or how our brain works. So it's not that far off if you're familiar working with that kind of research and applying it. So yeah, and since I also have like a background with the sports psychologist, that's another topic then, like how you work well. Oh,
Hey,
awesome.
well done, Angelica. Fantastic work. Really good.
So yeah, there is a lot of things going into your mindset as well. So all comes down to me always to the human behavior and how the brain operates. So
yeah, fascinating. Yeah, doesn't not stuff you think about when you're just trying to find the next piece to go in.
yeah, definitely not. But yeah, that's the part I've always enjoyed about puzzles. Even though now I'm not doing them, I'm still very interested in this stuff and just super excited about it.
And is it the same? I know you. I think we talked last time about the Rubik's Cube and the solving those. Is that something you're still working with?
I think it was a good challenge. So how far I got was that I solved the Rubik's Cube, so I know how to solve it. I didn't get to the speed cubing part yet because I've been just busy and my health is not the best, so it hasn't been like my high priority. But I actually loved that challenge. It was so refreshing, and also because I had a coach, so I really love the mathematics, and we always talk about like the algorithms of doing that. So I think the Rubik's Cube is also like really my thing from that point of view, that you can try to understand the algorithms of it, and not necessarily how you solve it, but also for the speed cubing. If I will go more towards that, is like just even in that one, it's not space management in that one, but it is where you keep your fingers, that there is the least amount of movement, so you will be faster. So yeah, once again, like all this kind of cool stuff comes into it.
With the cube, what I find a few years ago I learned how to do it. I learned the kind of the basic algorithm, so I could do it in kind of a couple of minutes. So I didn't learn any of the kind of advanced stuff. But then I didn't do it for a couple of months, and tried it and realized I couldn't do it because I had no idea what I was actually doing. It was the physical movements of doing it, and I had no idea what it meant, how what I was doing actually solved it. And
Yeah.
so once I got out of the kind of the physical pattern of movement, I probably couldn't do it at all now. I could maybe do the corners, and then I'd be completely stuck.
Yeah, it's also comes down to the repetition, that you can memorize it, like how to do the things, but you have to have a lot of just reps and reps and reps. But also kind of like understanding the logic behind the algorithms, because a lot of times when the algorithm, there's scenarios when it doesn't work. So there's kind of like a special cases. So if you don't understand how the algorithm works, why it works, then you're not able to solve these situations that you get into it sometimes. But when you understand it, you can kind of like almost like a backtrack from it and fix it and move forward. But yeah, I do recognize what you're saying, because I was pretty horrible student in a way that I did not practice between the coaching sessions, and I obviously should have done that, but it was a fun challenge, and I hope to get back to it. I'm still talking with my coach, so on weekly basis, so we'll definitely get back to it.
Hard to see I think we've got some sky left to go for Linda. It's a bit hard to tell from this angle, but looking good. What have we got? Just about 10 minutes to go.
Every piece
You
counts.
can do it. Yeah, see Cameron saying excellent tip. I never thought of moving the box. Yeah, it's yeah, like it's one of those things I hadn't even crossed my mind, and now thinking, yeah, why does it always stay at the back of the back of the table?
Yeah, we had like a new thing on the Speed Up a program that I'm running. We actually had, so one of the members was actually giving me their video, and I did the video breakdown or analysis live in one of the sessions to the whole group. So that was actually pretty cool, and I think it's very interesting, because it's one thing me like explaining the theories, and we cover a lot of topics, but I've been running this almost 2 years now, this program, so we have already covered a lot of topics, and the basics don't really change. The science doesn't really change, but it's exciting to see how other people do that. So actually this moving the box was one of the things I pointed out from there. So it's like a small things, because people just puzzle differently. It would be very boring if I would break down just my own videos, because I have the same weaknesses and strengths. We would be just talking about the same things all over again. But yeah, this was very interesting, and we're probably gonna do it again later this year. And it was I was so nice that our member Hannah was actually willing. She was like all in right away when I suggested this idea that maybe you send me a video and can I do it, and then we'll be there forever. And she was so into it. I really love that kind of like a growth mindset also, that she was open to get the feedback in front of everybody. And yeah, and we had a great discussions also, like why she was doing certain things, and everybody was kind of like giving their 2 cents as well. So it was a very interactive session as well. I was kind of like stopping it sometimes and asking like, hey, what do you see here? Is there something going wrong? What is going on here? What do you think is going to happen next? What should happen next? And then I was like showing what will happen next, and then we discussed about it. And yeah, super interesting.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, sounds great. You're tempting me and more people into the Speed Up program, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's from what I got from one session, I think it's I think it's it's fun. It's fun to see how much you can improve and how much you can change your way of thinking with with a bit of with a few tips, with with some coaching, with just with some input and some a review of how you're doing.
Yeah, important, especially just have like a couple things to focus on at once. But it really, I think, what is the key word here is that I help people to find what they should focus on, because it can be really hard. There's tips and advices coming from everybody. Everybody has a different style of doing puzzles. So if you go to a competition and you look at how other people are doing it, but then you also don't know their background. You don't actually know how they practice. What is their like strong preference? How long they've been doing it? So probably a lot of things that you see don't actually apply to you, or when you try to do them, it doesn't work for you because you have completely different like the bigger picture there. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Bit tricky to see what we've got. Just I think some of the sky section left. What have we got? About 6 minutes to go. Go on, Linda. You can do it. Yeah, and we're back to the sky after the last quite a few people working on the bridge.
Yeah.
The bridge is the last thing.
It is interesting. There is also sometimes puzzles that everybody just does the same way. But I have to say the order is not really a big thing. It's not something people should focus on, for the reason that naturally I would say 99% of people naturally just choose to order correctly every time. It's not something you really need to pay attention. You probably heard me say this before, but it's like the soccer player doesn't need to read the rule book. They just know the rules of the game because they have played it. So it comes naturally. And I think the order in speed puzzling is one of those things that it just comes naturally to people. Then, of course, if they obsess about it or get overwhelmed thinking about it, then that may actually impact their performance, but not. I've seen maybe one or two people ever who had like difficulties with the order, that it was completely like something random, but not really.
No, it does happen. I remember recently, I think when I tend to get into that mindset during it is when I kind of see something that kind of looks like something I can sort and pull out and start on, and then you realise it's about 3 times as many pieces as you thought it was, and not nearly as easy starting point as you were hoping for, and then but then it's then you start doubting it and second guessing yourself and thinking, oh, should I change? And it's that it's when that kind of doubt sets in and you kind of you don't know whether you're kind of losing time by swapping or losing time by carrying on down what maybe wasn't the best path to start down.
Yeah, I think, I mean, all of us do those mistakes sometimes, but as you said, usually if you figure out, wait a second, this might have been a mistake, most likely it is a mistake, and then it actually just, that's not an order issue in my opinion either. It comes down to the cognitive flexibility of how fast are you able to move forward and choose something else to do. So, but that's
at least then I've got a big pile sorted out for later, so it's not normally a big problem.
Yeah, and that's also one interesting thing that you mentioned, that why we do these mistakes when we don't understand how many pieces something is. I've tested this on multiple people as well. I show in a picture and ask how many pieces is this. Always goes wrong. Usually we estimate it too low than what it is. Sometimes the other way around, but more rarely. But then there is also the fact that when we look at the image, we see it a bit differently than what the image looks in pieces. There's like color psychology and all cool stuff related to this, because what we actually see is our brain changes what we see. So for example, if banana is in a green lighting, we still see it as yellow, even though it would be green. So
I think that was pretty much the first thing you said tonight when we saw the puzzle, that something about knowing how many pieces made up the kind of various sections.
yeah.
Okay, we just have just over 2 minutes left. Go on, Linda. Every piece counts now.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually interesting because I've also tested out and we have practiced this with some people. It's also one of those things that, by the way, you shouldn't practice on learning how many pieces some section is. You can create some kind of like idea. Do you get it too low or too high? But I have noticed that even though if I keep asking people who I coach every month, it's not something we get better at. It's just deceiving for our brain. So it's not something I would like. It's also sometimes good to know like what to not to worry too much about. If you just are aware that most likely it's more pieces than you think, that already helps you if you're aware of it. If you try to obsess trying to get it right, it's like you know what they say on interest rates and like how do you call it? It's not called potential, but when something not multiplies but it goes exponential, our brain,
Exponential, yeah.
yes, our brain, by research it says our brain does not understand the exponential. It will never understand that. So don't try to hit your head to a wall with things that our brain is just not equipped to understand. So it's that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about with this puzzling. Okay, we have 30 seconds left. Last few pieces.
Every piece counts. I love it that we still have so many people watching.
Yes, yeah. People are
almost like
down to the
maturity
end.
of what we have when we started. So
Yeah, thanks to everyone on the YouTube for joining tonight and for all the comments. Thanks, Graham, that we could reuse one of the puzzles from you, and that's time up. Well done, Linda. Good job. If you want to count up the number of pieces and pop it in the chat.
great race today. This was
fantastic. We had some close finishes. Close finish
Yep.
for first, and yeah, a few more along the way. Good lot of goal setting and psychology, which is always nice.
Yeah, I always appreciate people listening to me because I'm a little bit long-winded and I can just talk and talk and talk, and I'm just like, yeah, it's crazy. Also, I have like this sports watch, and I was having my speed up session on the other day, and it tells me that I'm exercising because I talk so much with my hand. It got confused. It was a bit funny. It asked me to confirm my exercise, and I was like, no, that was at the time I had a speed up session. Cannot be.
Counts as extra steps for the day.
Yeah, a lot of activity for that day. Also, my heartbeat was going like so high. That's why it also got me a mistake in it. But all right.
Cool. Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Amelia. Well done to everyone on the call. Yeah, some great times tonight. Hope you all enjoyed the puzzle. Thanks to everyone on the live stream for the chat. And yeah, look forward to seeing you in Denmark.
Yes.
Not long now, 3 weeks or so. And yeah, look forward to seeing everyone else maybe in the next competition. Like I said, few spaces left for the next couple of competitions. And then the new dates will be out in 2 or 3 weeks, and hope to see lots of you either in Denmark or at the Swedish Championships. Have a little. You'll be able to buy puzzles as well, buy competition puzzles at Swedish Championships. So yeah, hope to see lots of you in person. Cool. Thanks so much. Yeah, speak to you
Thank
soon.
you. Ciao.